Chapter 4. Stress lives in perception, not reality. Dean Stone. The real diagnosis. Strip away the labels, ignore the checklists, stop decoding every symptom. And what's left? Almost every form of mental illness reduces to one thing: chronic stress. That's it. That's the core. An overloaded nervous system, a mind stuck in a feedback loop, a body flooded with cortisol and adrenaline and no off switch. But no one calls it that. Why? Because chronic stress doesn't sound clinical. It doesn't sell medication. It doesn't justify treatment plans, and it doesn't lock you into your years of therapy. It sounds too human, too ordinary, too solvable. So they rename it, pathologize it, package it as depression, anxiety, trauma disorders, bipolar disorders, personality disorders. Not because they're evil, but because it's profitable. Because it keeps you coming back. Call it what it is: depression, anxiety, panic, racing thoughts, mood swings, obsessions, collapse. Not disorders. Symptoms of overload, too much input, too little recovery, held too long. But instead of clearing the pressure, they label the leak. Instead of fixing the cause, they medicate the consequence. This isn't care, it's symptom management in disguise. Cold clarity? You're not chemically imbalanced, you're chronically stressed. What chronic stress actually is, it's not pressure, it's a system stuck in permanent alarm, mentally, physically, emotionally. Thought loops that don't shut off, emotions that feel too big to contain. A nervous system scanning for threats that aren't there. A body that's forgotten how to let go. You weren't built for this. No one is. But when you live like this long enough, you stop calling it stress. You start calling it you. The problem isn't the experience, it's the identification. People come in saying, "I'm overwhelmed, I've had a hard time coping, I feel sad, mad, or scared." They leave saying, "I'm bipolar, I have generalized anxiety disorder, I have PTSD, I have a personality disorder, I'm broken." You see, that's the trap. The diagnosis hijacks the truth. Stress gets rebranded as identity, and the cause gets buried beneath the label. What about medication? I'm not against it. If you're in a full system overload, a pill might act like a circuit breaker. That's not evil, that's chemistry. But let's be clear. It's not curing a disease, it's turning down the volume. And the industry sells that volume knob like beachfront property, as if turning the noise down means you've arrived. Cold clarity? If you medicate the stress but keep the story, the suffering stays. You can't heal stress with labels. Stress unwinds when the system resets, when thought slows, when the loop breaks. You don't need to decode your trauma. You don't need to regulate your inner child. You don't need to fix your brain chemistry. You need to stop mistaking thought for reality. That's what stress is: repetitive thought mistaken for fact. Final strike. There's only one mental illness: chronic stress. Everything else is marketing. Everything else is a narrative. Once you see that, you stop trying to treat the 12 fake conditions and start listening to the signal underneath them all. You're overloaded. You're not broken. You're in a loop. Get out of the loop.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it at no cost, thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.